first diagnosed with ADHD, I felt like I had nothing really working. I couldn't rely on myself. I felt I was consistently inconsistent. I was making soup, vacuuming, writing a paper, and at the same time trying to do something else. I felt like I had 450 tabs open in my brain at all times, and nothing ever really got done. And I felt so frustrated. So this is why I want to talk about how you can get to know your ADHD brain, realize what you personally need, curate that, and thrive. Hi, I'm Caroline Maguire, and I'm here to talk about all things ADHD and friendship. ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, isn't just about being overly energetic or inattentive. It's a neurological condition that impacts how your brain processes information, manages emotions, and organizes tasks. ADHD presents itself in 3 types, and many times in the media, they act like we're all just hyperactive. That's not true. You may be watching saying, that's not me. Inattentive, hyperactive, and combined type. You may find yourself spacing out, losing track of time, while others struggle with restless energy, talking a mile a minute. And you can have cognitive hyperactivity. You can be sitting perfectly still in a chair and your brain is going. And I always say those 450 tabs open in my brain, they are all demanding my attention, so sitting still is torturous. How ADHD affects daily life is really individualized. Living with ADHD can feel like juggling too many things at once. You may struggle with focus, organization, time management, or emotional regulation. Tasks other people find simple can feel overwhelming. But the flip side is that things that other people struggle with, we have such tremendous strengths that they can feel really easy for me. Dr. Nora Volkow did a major study which showed that ADHD is all about interest. If we are not interested, our focus goes down. If we are interested, our focus goes up. People with ADHD are often incredibly creative thinkers, problem solvers, great under pressure. It's all about learning to balance the challenges and your unique strengths and remembering to focus on those strengths, because no one ever got happier by focusing on your weaknesses. I'm actually going to put in the comments some links to 2 organizations that have great information and great support groups. And they're very medically science-based, so you don't have to worry that they're based on stuff that isn't true. Treatment options, there's a variety of evidence-based treatment options available. And I really said the words evidence-based. You can feel a little desperate, and there are people out there that will take advantage of that. So everything that I talk about on this channel is going to be evidence-based, research-based. If it doesn't have peer review studied, it doesn't mean that it can't work. But if you're gonna plunk down a bunch of money, it's really important to know what are the proven things, right? Medication, both stimulant and non-stimulant, is often a helpful tool, and it is part of the gold standard that's been developed in terms of treating ADHD. Of course, everyone's different, and I know medication is an incredibly loaded topic. So working with a healthcare provider that knows ADHD is key. We all have a lot of stuff from our past as well, and the way the brain works, your past imprints on you and influences how you see the present. So therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, ADHD coaching, and other therapies can really help you learn executive functions and how to manage your daily life, but also cope with those feelings of shame and the burdens of the past, because we all kind of carry those with us. Lifestyle changes like exercising regularly, sleep schedule, practicing mindfulness, they play a huge role in improving our focus and emotional regulation. And here's the thing I found over the past 25 years. If I do some of these things, I have to make them interesting for me, and I have to have motivation. So I'm going to tell you some quick, practical tips to help you with your ADHD right now, but I'm going to say that color-coded planners are a great idea, except you have to have motivation and interest. So everything I do, I think, what's in it for me? And I also find a way to make sure I get that dopamine and I have the brain stimulation in order to make it interesting. Alarms, routines, they are our friend, even though sometimes we don't like routines because we feel like, oh, it's so boring. Tech tools are incredibly helpful, and I always learn about my tech tools from a few good sources of people who have ADHD and who have tried them out. And I actually just discovered something the other day that I'm gonna share with all of you soon. But the biggest thing I wanna say is you're not alone. Surrounding yourself with a supportive environment, I think, is the #1 way that you learn to thrive, because we do approach life differently. We have to honor our brain. If we understand our brain, we understand ourselves, and we have to curate how we do life and make it a choice and do what we need for us. Having supportive people around and having a community is, to me, the best way to help you thrive. One of the most important things I can tell you is ADHD is not a personal flaw. It's simply a part of who you are, and with the right tools and understanding and support, you can thrive. If you just got your ADHD diagnosis or you are trying to understand yourself better, it's a powerful tool, and it's one step at a time. It's a journey, not a sprint, and progress matters. Focus on your wins. There is no perfection. Sorry, doesn't exist. Please ask me questions in the comments. I will answer them. I have been an ADHD coach for 20 years, which is kind of long running in the industry. I'm like one of the people who's been around the most. I also have a master's degree that focused on social emotional learning and executive function. So I'm really steeped in this. I focus mostly on social stuff, but I'm happy to answer any questions here.